I'd like to remind you of two of the problems with the Leviathan state. One is that it has enormous powers of surveillance. It sees itself as entitled to look into and pass judgment on all aspects of a person's life. Here's an example that comes to mind. When I was in Michigan, I was sitting once talking to a group of parents. And they were complaining of what they saw as a kind of big brotherish tendencies among doctors. They said doctors were asking questions about whether their parents did alcohol, whether their parents did drugs, etc. And they saw it as the state using the medical community to spy on parents. And that is disturbing in many ways. Of course, the state needs to detect serious crimes, but there's something a little chilling about using children as a means to spy on their parents. Another problem is that it rarely recognizes that institutions have powers independent of the state. We see this to some extent in debates about federalism. So for example, there was a huge debate in the United States about whether or not the federal government had the authority to pass certain healthcare measures. But when I read the Supreme Court cases, I had to remind myself, this is a debate about the authority of the federal government. All of the justices seem to agree that the state governments had virtually unlimited power in these areas, or limited primarily by their own state constitutions. Of course, the Bill of Rights, etc. But there was no question about whether the state had the right to do this, meaning Missouri, Illinois, Arizona, etc.